Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Being the celebrated arms of Karachi Toastmaster Club, I welcome you all in an exciting contest, uh, the evaluation contest for the year 2021. As we all know that evaluation is the feedback, the feedback is the breakfast for the leaders. And, and today, today we have a contest for it. So without further delay, I would like to hand over the charge to uh, the passionate Toastmaster and the contest chair for today's constant contest, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Over to you, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ashar Anjum. Strike one, strike two, strike three. You're the contest chair. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening. Once again, as a contest chair, this is because you want to see me more and more and more and more and more as a contest chair. Thank God we don't have any R counter to count my repeated words. You know why? And you know why did I use the word more 5 times? Reason behind, there are two more contests to go. The biggest one, the International Speech Contest, and the Humor Speech Contest. Now, this statement is for members only. If you guys didn't pitch in as a contest chair, you will have to see me. You will have to bear me again and again. Now, please don't ask me why did I use the word again twice. As we all know, speech contests are an important part of the Toastmasters educational program. They provide an opportunity for Toastmasters to gain speaking experience as well as an opportunity for other Toastmasters to learn by observing proficient speakers. Today, we have our third contest, a very important one, the evaluation speech contest. We all need people who will give us feedback, and that's how we progress. And the most famous quote that suits perfectly on today's occasion, and if I didn't use it, it would be more like cursing myself the whole day. I'm sure you have guessed it. Yes, feedback is the breakfast of the champions, just used by our sergeant at arms. And today, our test speaker will receive bundles and bundles of feedback from our energetic and enthusiastic contestants. Before I request it to our test speaker to deliver the speech, I will request our president, the women of substance, the tech host, Toastmaster Urusa, to please have an online balloting and we can decide the speaking orders. Toastmaster Urusa, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Contest Chair. So now the balloting, I will be sharing the screen, which will be displaying an Excel sheet. And let me share. So you guys have to pick your favorite ice cream in the winters. Now I'd like to call out the names of the contestants, and one by one, you guys can pick your favorite ice cream. And then in the middle, we will display the speaking order. So I'd like to call Toastmaster Anam first. And what is your favorite ice cream?
Tough choice. Cookies and cream.
All right. So the next speaker, Toastmaster Hina.
Mint chocolate chip in any season.
next speaker, Toastmaster Ali Hasnain.
Yeah, it would be strawberry cheesecake. You have strawberry cream cheese follow.
Yeah, so you'd have to go with that. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So the next speaker, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam.
You can take chocolate.
Okay, chocolate. Right, Toastmaster Saad.
Okay, chocolate is gone. Fudge.
All right. The next speaker, Toastmaster Saad.
Go with mine.
Toastmaster Ali Ashar.
I will go with pistachio. I will go with pistachio.
Toastmaster Taha Basharat.
Blueberry it is.
All right. Toastmaster Taha Hasan.
I guess all the good flavors are gone. So I'll take this Netflix and chill. This new flavor, I think it's interesting.
All right. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Hardly any choices left, so I will go for the first one, vanilla.
That's the best choice. Okay, Toastmaster Amir Bilal.
Not left with favorite option, so I'll go with pineapple.
Okay, I saw Toastmaster Hiba come through. So Toastmaster Hiba, which ice cream would you like?
I'll take praline.
Okay, so do we have Toastmaster Latif and Toastmaster Naveenta with us?
Master Latif won't join us today. We can put Toastmaster Navinta as a last contestant. If she
All right.
joins before the test speech, then we will consider her. Otherwise, we will not going to request her.
All right. So now let's reveal the speaking order. So our first speaker will be Toastmaster Saad Shoaib. Our first speaker will be Toastmaster Saad Shoaib. This is for the judges as well, Toastmaster Saad Shoaib. The second speaker is Toastmaster Anam. The third speaker is Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. The fourth speaker is Toastmaster Naveed. The fifth speaker is Toastmaster Hiba. The sixth speaker is Toastmaster Ali Hasnain. The seventh speaker is Toastmaster Ali Ashar. The eighth speaker is Toastmaster Taha Basharat. The ninth speaker is Toastmaster Amir Bilal. The 10th speaker is Toastmaster Saad Amin. The 11th speaker is Toastmaster Hina. The 12th speaker is Toastmaster Taha Hasan. 13th speaker. The 13th speaker is okay. We've done 12, right?
We have 12 speakers only.
Toastmaster Navinda.
All right. Toastmaster
is here.
All right. So the 13th speaker is Toastmaster Naveed.
Toastmaster Rosa, I request you to please WhatsApp
Send
me
up.
the meeting order. Yes.
All right. All right.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Urusa. I hope you enjoy your favorite ice creams. Now, I would like to go briefly about the basic rules of today's contest. The first is the eligibility. To be eligible to compete in a contest, a member must be a paid member, and the club must also be in a good standing. Okay, so this is the eligibility criteria. Okay, in this contest, at the beginning of this contest, a test speaker deliver a 5 to 7 minutes speech. The test speech must be a contest type speech or a project speech from Toastmasters Pathways Learning Program. Contestants who choose to make preparatory notes during the test speech must use the evaluation contestant notes sheet or any paper or a book. No digital devices are allowed to use for this purpose. The test speaker may not be a member of a club or anyone from the contestant speech. The test speaker must be introduced by announcing the speaker's name, speech title, and the speaker's name only. Same way we introduced in international speech contest and other speaking contest. At the conclusion of test speech, all the contestants must transfer to the breakout room. All the contestants are requested to join the breakout room. They then have 5 minutes to prepare and compile their evaluations. After that, each contestant will be called one by one to deliver his or her evaluation speech within allotted time of 2 to 3 minutes. How this timing will work, for that I request our timer, Toastmaster Firdaus, a very dedicated Toastmaster from Dow IBHM, to please explain the rules. Toastmaster Firdaus, please explain the timing rules.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Toastmaster Firdaus Khan and I'm playing the role of timer in tonight's contest. First of all, I want to ask you all that the timer screen is visible to everyone or not? Not my screen, screen with the title. Okay. So let me explain the timing procedure. Okay. So at 2 minutes, I'll be showing at 2 minutes 0 seconds, I'll be showing this green screen to all of you. After 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll be showing this yellow screen to all of you. And after 3 minutes 0 seconds, I'll be showing the red screen to all of you. And this means you have 30 seconds more to speak. And the minimum time for qualification is 1 minute 30 seconds to 3 minutes 30 seconds. Okay, I request every contestant to please pin the screen of timer before you start your evaluation. I repeat, I request every contestant to please pin the screen of timer before you start your speech or evaluation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus, for such a wonderful explanation of your role. So once again, I request all the contestants, before starting your evaluation, don't forget to pin the timer screen. Okay, now the contest is being judged by a team of competent judges led by our chief judge, DTM Talha. What actually they are looking in the speech. For that, I request our chief judge to brief DTM Talha to briefly explain the ballot. DTM Talha, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Contest Chair, for conveniently outsourcing the Contest Chair briefing to me as well, but I don't mind. Okay, so it is a very unique contest. The evaluation speech contest, first of all, the duration is just 2 to 3 minutes. And secondly, uh, just like table topics contest, the evaluation contest also differs slightly from the evaluations that we see in a routine Toastmasters meeting. So first of all, if you look at the ballot, and I trust that you all have looked at the ballot, or Mr. Contest Chair, would you be asking me to share the ballot as well? I hope not. Anyhow.
The ballot has been shared to every contestant.
Okay. So if you look, there are certain very interesting words used in that ballot. If you just look at the words and the adjectives, it is quite clear that it is something very unique. So for example, clear, focused, positive, specific, helpful, sympathetic, sensitive, motivational, concise, and encouraging. So versus a normal Toastmasters evaluation, first of all, the evaluators need to be positive and they need to have solutions for the speaker, not just stating the problem, but also if the speaker has something major to improve, they should be able to provide a tangible, clear, and focused solution on how to take the speech to their desired level. Secondly, they should be uniformly positive, specific, helpful, and their technique should be sympathetic, sensitive, and motivational. So notice this, in a routine Toastmasters meeting, you could get away with a degree of bluntness to the speaker, especially if you're familiar with the speaker. But in a contest, you need to be, if I dare say so myself, you need to be needlessly and profusely positive about the speaker. And you must have seen that when you have seen the international speech contest winning speeches. They are so positive. Every speaker appears like Martin Luther King to them. And they're essentially advising Martin Luther King on how to become a Barack Obama. So just keep those two things in mind and you will score well according to this ballot. And lastly, you need to summarize your evaluation very neatly. That has a substantial portion of marks. Unlike, again, in a routine Toastmasters meeting, you're looking at the timer and you can cut abruptly short your evaluation and you can tell the speaker that, I'll be sharing my written evaluation later, a detailed evaluation, which, by the way, after the advent of pathways, no one ever does, but at least they say so. So, so I know some of you are shaking your heads because those who are shaking their heads always religiously share that, but many of us ignore to do that. But in this, you need to present the complete package. You don't have a written evaluation to give to the speaker, so you need to have a concise and encouraging summation. Remember, the words that you say to the speaker are the only evaluation you're giving to the speaker. They won't have a sheet from you. So you need to have a concise and encouraging summary, and that has also a substantial portion of marks. So with that, I hand over the charge back to our contest chair, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you very much, Chief Judge DTM Talha, for your detailed explanation about the ballot. I'm sure all the contestants now fully prepared what they are going to deliver. Come out, wherever you are. And now, curtains will part, and onto your screen, our test speaker, Toastmaster Saleha Sohail, will appear. Test speaker, are you with us?
Yes, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are. So before starting, I request you to pin the timer screen.
Yes, of course. And done.
So now we are starting. Power of positivity. Saleha Sohail. Saleha Sohail. Power of positivity. The virtual stage is yours.
Once upon a time, there were two young boys, Ali and Gulpir. Gulpir was extremely curious, extremely adventurous. He was the kind of friend that always got you into trouble. Whereas Ali was more of a shy kid, a shy kind. Both the boys went out for a walk, a very long walk, where as they stepped out of the restricted area, Ali would say, "Let's go back." Gulpir would be like, "No, no, no, I just need to get across that hill, that lady finger looking hill." And so the two boys trekked to across the hill, only to find an abandoned well. It was muddy in color, broken bricks around its edges, and no bucket indicating that the well had dried up. So Gulpir rushed to the well and tiptoed and looked way down below. Whereas Ali followed with a much more reserved body language, folded arms, still saying, "Let's go back." Curious Gulpir, trying to get a closer and closer look to the bottom of the well, tiptoeing harder till he, bam, fell into the well. Ali began to cry, "Help, help, my friend is in the well." But there was not a single soul to register his cries. Ali had two options. Either rush and go and get an adult to help Gulpir out of the well, or stay and help himself get Gulpir out of the well. Which one does Ali go for? Which one would you go for? Ladies and gentlemen, guests, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished members of the panel, good evening. Today, I'm going to talk about the power of positivity. And now on my screens, I'm sure I can see a few eyes rolling. I can probably hear a few sighs under the breath, and people thinking to themselves that the only positivity they need is in their blood type. But let's turn this entire room into a time capsule and zoom back into time and remember when we wanted to wear gray shoes with a black outfit and we were told, "Stop, don't, it'll look dumb." Or how we wanted to have that last bit of dessert after having a 3-course meal and we're like, "Stop, no, it'll make you fatter." Or how failing again and again and again in school just meant you were the black sheep of the family. With all of this around you, you start to question and ask yourself, is it just me? Or does everyone feel this negative energy? So with a show of hands, how many of you were here, were really good at school? Excellent, like absolutely great. Unlike all of you who raised their hands or who even thought to themselves that they were great, I wasn't an excellent student at school at all. But that doesn't mean I wasn't ambitious. And with that being said, I went up to my Pakistan studies teacher, whose subject I did not fail once, not fail twice, but 3 times. I went up to her and I said, "I will get an A grade in your subject." And at this point, you all must be thinking how she must have clapped her hands together or turned them into fists and said, "Yes, yes, Saleha, you can do it." Instead, she said, "You? An A grade in my course? If you get an A grade in my course, I'll quit teaching." It was awful. Not at the fact that she had just made fun of me, but it was awful at the fact that I even tried to think big. These words, these meanings, the weight they carry, it is so immense. Imagine you must have said something to anyone and they keep replaying it in their heads, not having that ability to switch it off. How many times they must have replayed and it just stuck. Did I pass her subject? No, I failed. I would sit and study for her subject. I would do all the past papers, answer questions, but then I would make a mistake. And making mistakes is pretty organic. But my mistakes kept reminding me of those meaningless words. You, an A grade, huh? Was it just still Pakistan studies? No, it was Islamic studies, it was business studies, English, math, science. It was every single thing I did. Every single thing I did, I had doubt in it. Just because of those meaningless words. Those words I couldn't switch off. But did I let that entire scenario dictate me, my life? No. When people told me I did not have the aptitude to do BBA, I went and did BBA. When people told me you cannot major in finance, I went and majored in finance. And this is all with the negativity around me. Imagine if people were to tell me, yes, you can do it. This was my story about how I dealt with all the negativity around me. And all of you must be thinking and grabbing onto your seats, what about Ali and Gulbir? Ali managed to help Gulbir out of the well all by himself, just because there was no adult to tell him that he cannot do it. We say so many negative things that can completely break a person down piece by piece. Or we can say encouraging things and build one another, for that is the power of positivity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saleha, for your amazing and inspiring speech. We now request all the contestants to join the breakout room, and there you will have 5 minutes to finalize your evaluation. Tech host Toastmaster Urusa, I request you to please open the breakout room so that the contestants can join the breakout room. Chief Judge, could you please confirm that all the contestants have joined the breakout room?
Toastmaster Imran, if you're there, yeah. Can you now brief everyone else who is not in breakout rooms about what is happening and how the contest will move forward?
Okay. So, will you confirm that all the contestants have joined the breakout room? Since Toastmaster Navinta is on her way and she is not in the breakout room.
Okay. So everyone just taking this opportunity, first of all, let me welcome our guests from out of city, Toastmaster Mohammed Bilal, Toastmaster Athar Ahmed, and of course our wonderful test speaker. We have a few guests from abroad as well. So we have a DTM Kwan Hong Tan, and we have Toastmaster Inosh Thomas. So honored to have all of you here. Okay, so just to fill up this page, we have 5 minutes, right? Toastmaster Musa, how much time out of this? How many minutes now are left?
Timer can tell us, Toastmaster Fidos.
Yes, we have 2 minutes more left.
Okay, fine. So let me just brief about uh, some additional things that we have uh, done in order to make this more stringent, the evaluation contest. The first thing that we've done is that we only allow writing in the breakout room, as you just witnessed. And the breakout room is visible. All the contestants are visible to the sergeant at arms, and they are busy writing. When they're done writing, they'll be sharing a snapshot of their sheet. They're only instructed to write on paper and no other device. They will be sharing the snapshot of their evaluation sheet with the sergeant at arms. And then when they're called to speak again, they'll be sharing another snapshot of the current version to demonstrate that they have not written anything else. So during the intervening period, they won't be allowed access to a keyboard or a pen. So in that way, we have made an effort to keep this as close to an in-person evaluation contest as possible. So I hope this all works towards providing a consistent and equal opportunity to all evaluators to perform to their fullest.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Talha, for explaining this rule. Okay, so today is an important day in Karachi Toastmasters Club's history. Today, the founder of KTC, distinguished Toastmaster, late DTM Salim, was born. Who was DTM Salim? What was his vision? And where he wanted to see Pakistan in Toastmasters world? We have so many seasoned Toastmasters present in the meeting. So let's start with Toastmaster Hassan Ali Thebo, what he has to say about DTM Salim.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all of you. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Toastmaster Salim has helped form this club and also led it to such great heights. You know, he always tried to. It seems as if he was born for this purpose. Why would I say that? Because every time when I was serving as president of the club, every time I would meet him, he had nothing to discuss other than the Toastmasters issues or the Toastmaster affairs. And it's surprising when I went to attend one of his son's marriages. So amazingly, as expected, the first thing he asked me was if we had dinner well enough, and then he goes on discussing the Toastmaster thing again. And it was I said, man, this man surely has a vision, has a purpose for Toastmasters. How could people be so very committed to a club and what it could do for people? He seemed to be living for the wellness, the goodness, the progress, and the development of people all the time. To speak of his other achievements and all that, that's would take a whole episode. But then again, to specifically conclude it, I would say he was a great motivator. He left a great legend for all of us, you know, so great.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hassan Ali Thebo. Good to see you back after a long time. Now we have a Toastmaster who has been a Toastmaster from a very long time. He is a DTM. I request DTM Shahrukh Shah Nawaz. Could you please share your thoughts share your good memories with DTM Salim? Please, Toastmaster Shahrukh.
Thank you, Contest Chair. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are.
Well, when I joined Toastmaster, and it was my first day, and I still, it is something funny about first days that you can never forget them. Today, I was discussing the same thing with my class fellows that how far we have come in life. In 2005, I have gotten admission in Karachi University, and now it is 2020. In 2009, it was the first time when I visited Karachi Toastmasters. And at that time, the club was struggling. They were holding their meetings in a school, and it was it was actually a kindergarten school. Tables were small, chairs were small, and there were so many senior and seasoned Toastmasters, and there were so many accomplished people. I was only a student, freshly passed out, and the way they were advising me, they were telling me how can I improve myself. And then Dr. Salim, the legendary founder, he took my number. Unfortunately, he never called me that are you willing to become the member. But in the next meeting, I sort of came a bit early. We sat together. He explained me the entire meeting. He told me not to get confused, not to be scared, try your best, and push myself to the limits. And it was not just advices. I saw him pushing his daughter, Toastmaster Maria, who is also a DTA now. And the way he was encouraging her and the environment it was sort of a first time exposure to me that there is a place which is so much positive, which is not only guiding us, helping us, but also giving us opportunity to improve our speaking skills and public speaking skills. And with that, the journey began, and the rest is history. But I still really miss him, and I still wish that he was with us today, and he would have witnessed that the contributions and hard work of the current committee, especially Toastmaster Imran Rana, Talha, and our great president, Toastmaster Urusa, their hard work, their dedication, even in these difficult times, the meetings are being conducted, the contest is being conducted. We have 30 and 40 plus attendance. So it is amazing. But and the entire credit goes to our beloved DTM, Dr. Salim. Thank you,
Thank you
contestant.
very much. Thank you very much, DTM Shahrukh, for sharing your wonderful memories with DTM Salim. We have our program quality director, DTM Talha. Let's see what he has to say about DTM Salim. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. There's so much to be said about DTM Salim. I was perhaps, I joined Toastmasters in 2016, and by that time, his health was not 100%, so he was not as regular with KTC as one would have wished. When I first met him, uh, he came across as kind of aloof and kind of standoffish. Uh, and the seniors would agree with me, I believe. But that was only at the first contact. The more you interacted with him, the more he uh, split open like an eclair, and from underneath the eclair, you could see oozes, you could see uh, cream and sweetness oozing out. You just had to knock a little bit to make that effort. And he was the kindest and the most generous person in this club that I've seen. And I won't say much except for the fact that he was a philanthropist, not only within Toastmasters, but outside of Toastmasters as well. So he helped so many people from his own from his own pocket. Uh, he fulfilled so many memberships. He financed so many members. He was such a great motivator, and uh, I can go on and on about him. But the
Mic is
yeah
muted.
yeah. Sorry, the host muted me for some reason. I don't know. Anyhow, so the people that he nurtured, uh, Toastmaster Hasan, Toastmaster Shahrukh, DTM Shahrukh, DTM Samir, Toastmaster Najam, uh, DTM Zaid, DTM Rashid.
DTM
These are the people who are a living testament to what a force of nature he was. And I'll just give one example. There was a time when DTM Samir displayed one of his certificates at another club. He had participated in a contest, and that contest took place about 10 or 12 years ago. And it was a combined contest of Karachi's clubs. So it was sort of a prototype area contest, and it took place 10 to 12 years ago. And ironically, it was an evaluation contest. And just to prove that the contest happened and DTM Samir participated, DTM Samir held up that certificate towards for the club to show that, you know, I was there, I was in that contest. The point is that DTM Samir had won first place in that contest, but he hid that first place with his thumb. He just wanted people to know that he had participated. And in fact, had it been anyone else, including myself, we would have touted that, you know, we won that contest. So yes, because DTM Samir is also a fundamentally decent human being, but I can't help but think that the training and the decency imparted by DTM Salim had a big role to play in how fundamentally decent, humble, and dedicated all our seniors are. So there's no greater proof of his qualities than the crop of seniors that we have today. Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you very much, DTM Talha, for your wonderful dreams, wonderful memories with DTM Salim. We have another Toastmaster, Toastmaster Rahma Anib. I would like to say something about Toastmaster Rahma, that her whole family is a Toastmaster. So I request her to share your sweet memories with DTM Salim. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. So I think that my memories with Toastmaster Salim are honestly very sweet because I was very young back then when I joined Toastmasters, and he was very encouraging of me, and he was always telling me that, you know, you can become DTM. Although I haven't reached there, but I know that I'm much closer to it than I was before. And definitely, like, I think I remember that on the car rides back, we would be with Toastmaster DTM Salim, and he would be talking about Toastmasters or something related to Toastmasters. And then, like, that was just something that stayed, you know. And like, even it was something that he sort of transferred into my dad. I think if he had not met Toastmaster Salim, he wouldn't have that type of passion and courage and vigor that comes when he thinks about Toastmaster. It's only because Toastmaster Salim had that and he transferred that into all of us. So really grateful for that.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rahma. Let me assure you that your wisdom is still working. Okay, so my memories with DTM Salim. I looked him as a father. As his personality was quite impressive, and I used to afraid from my father, and I used to avoid communication with DTM Salim because I afraid from him too. But when we start communicating, then I realize he's a very nice and gentle person. And let's pray that may Allah bless his soul and bless all the blessings on him. Just give me a few seconds. I have to attend the call, then we'll get back to you. DTM Talha, could you please continue?
Okay, so we can now get on with the contest, and I believe we have our contestants ready to start. I've heard from the Sergeant at Arms that there is kind of a festival that has started in the breakout room because we have given them so much time. So, are you back, Toastmaster Imran? Okay, okay. So we can start with the contestants one by one, and tech host, please confirm whether the first contestant is ready.
Yes, they are ready. Let me.
Okay, so let's bring in Toastmaster Saad Shoaib.
Contestant number 1, are you ready?
Just wait on.
Contestant number 1, Saad Shoaib. Saad Shoaib, contestant number 1.
Toastmaster Saleha Sohail, power of positivity. And believe me, your speech was full of only positives. I can say that I was the one person on the whole planet who had the hardest job to do, which is to evaluate such an excellent, articulate all of the points ticked. Your opening, wow. The gestures, Ali Gulpir, those your entire speeches gestures match your content. Then came your vocal variety. I will get an A grade. That was quite marvelous. That was only the one phrase of the speech, but all in all, your speech had excellent vocal variety. Then came your pauses, boy. The pauses actually induce that audience engagement. Like the audience were like, what's about to be next, and you actually catch that in by opening the speech with a story. The body was about your own self, and then at the end you again picked up on that very story about Ali Gulpir. So that actually kept the audience engaged. You were totally assertive. You asked the question, which is excellent. Now for some, frankly, I was not able to find one point of improvement. But since you are a very dedicated Toastmaster, just some point to challenge yourself. Number one, since it's an online meeting, you can't go like this, because you'll be out of the speaking area. Number two, ask more questions. Number three, pause a bit more between sentences. But the speech was wow. Over to you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 1, Saad Shoaib. We now observe 1 minute of silence, and I request all the judges to mark their ballot. In the meantime, I request the tech host to bring the second contestant. Toastmaster Firdaus, if 1 minute time and is over, you may announce twice that 1 minute is over.
Sure, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you. Could we have our second contestant?
I'm here.
Yes. I request you to pin the timer screen, please.
Yes, I already have.
Contestant number 2, Anam Qadri. Anam Qadri, contestant number 2.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, and TM Saleha Sohail. There are a few speeches that leaves you awestruck by their ideas. But then there are some that leaves you mesmerized by their words. And TM Saleha, your speech was a combination of both of them. You pointed out the unpalatable truth that we all have to ram down our esophagus. And listening to your speech, I got chills. My hands are still cold with anxiety. I still have that blot of tears stuck in my throat. Because yes, I was also a victim of such a society. And I can truly relate to it, how it feels and how you must have felt. You started off with an inspiring story of the two brothers and how you effortlessly moved to your theme, inspiring us by your personal story, relating us, giving us the message. But in doing this, I found that you had some closed hand gestures. If you would have been a little open, spread out your hands, throw it into the wind, show the people that you have the confidence, that you came out of that trauma, that you faced that society. It would have been tremendous. You had pauses, very due pauses, but at some places I found that you stopped for a while. I was just wondering that if it was a part of the speech, or was it just the drama, the scenario that you were trying to build? When you were telling us about your teacher, Saleha, I can truly relate to that. You showed how your teacher told you that if you got an A grade, I would leave the teaching. Show an attitude, the attitude with which the teacher would have provoked you. And that resulted in your being the best speaker today. You spoke so well, you spoke so confidently, you interacted with the audience so well with the questions you put up. And then you had us engrossed in your speech. By the way you were throwing off the positivity, we got those vibes from your speech. A little vocal variety would have been a cherry on the top when you were saying, help, help, my friend isn't well. It would have been excellent. So a little expression, a variety. But overall, your speech was confident with very nice hand gestures, very nice facial expressions. You have a beautiful voice, Saleha, and you have a great tendency to give a great speech, and you did it so well. So proud of you. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, contestant number 2. We now observe a minute silence, and I request all the judges to mark their ballot. In the meantime, could we have our contestant number 3?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Great. Let me just spin the timer.
Just a minute.
Okay.
You will be given that time.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. I request you to pin the timer screen.
Okay. Sure. Let me do it. Now the timer has been pinned.
Just a minute. I request all the contestants to not to send chats to the guest speaker. So avoid chatting, please. Okay. So are you ready?
I cannot hear you. What did you say?
That's not for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Contestant number 3, Ghulam Qadir. Ghulam Qadir, contestant number 3.
Contest chair, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is indeed said that the words make a person or break a person. Today, Toastmaster Saleha took us to the world of positivity and motivation. She started with a story of Ali and Guldeep, and soon after she caught the attention of all the audience. Her body language, her voice modulation, her facial expression, the use of stage she was using, the whole stage, and the eye contact in the camera was superb right from the beginning till the end. She focused on the details of the speech. How? She told us that the Guldeep and Ali went to the well, and Guldeep started looking inside the well. So I believe and observed that she used a stepping stool, and on that stepping stool she climbed to give an impression that the Guldeep is peeping into the wall, and the Guldeep suddenly fell. So, regarding the motivation aspect and the positivity, she told us that the people around us talk so much of negativity, from starting from how we dress, what we eat, and even when we are in our school days, they don't even forgive us in those days. Look at us, the teachers who are supposed to be a blessing of Allah. She told us that they are the worst demotivators. So, how to motivate yourself? Keep going, challenge yourself. Do what is said that you cannot do. So that was the message from her speech. If I sum up, or if I try to find out how she can improve her speech, this Toastmaster tried his best to find any flaw in her speech, but I couldn't find any flaw. So her speech was perfect right from the beginning. She caught the attention. Till the end, the message of the motivation, the positivity was delivered appropriately and right dot on the target. It went directly from her words till to our hearts, the audience. So, to sum it up, it was a perfect speech for an international contest. I wish you good luck, Toastmaster Saleha, for the contest in the international speech contest. Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you very much, contestant number 3, Ghulam Qadir. We now observe a minute silent and all the judges are requested to mark their ballots. In the meantime, I request our tech host to send the contestant number 4.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, Toastmaster Naveed. Just wait for a few seconds.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Moving on, I request Toastmaster Naveed to please pin the timer screen. Okay, so you are perfectly audible and visible. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Contestant number 4, Naveed Aslam. Naveed Aslam, contestant number 4.
Thank you very much. So, Saleha, thank you very much for an amazing, glossy, and inspiring speech on the power of positivity. In fact, I can feel every word of it and can relate it. Especially when you have given the example that we had full dinner, probably I am adding Pepsi into it, but we are worried on the dessert, which will make us overweight. Few of the items that I would like to mention is that you have amazing storytelling skills. You have related Gulpir and Ali with yourself very well. Especially, I can feel the pain when Gulpir fell into the well on your face. All this relationship between your story and the story of two kids, and when one of them fell into the well, that was on your face that I can feel. The way you have started and the way you have built it is amazing. It was a wonderful choice of word and wonderfully paced out speech. There are a couple of areas which I think that you could have done better. When I say you could have done better, I mean when you said that did I relate that? Did I let that relate to me? When your teacher said that, you should have said no with passion. Why I'm saying that? Reason, your passion would have given the words or the soul to your words so that we can see no. You then accepted that and you fight back. I see only that passion missing when you were negating the power, the negativity, and embracing the power of positivity. Your hands and face should have reflected how you felt at that time when teachers said that no, you can't get an A in my subjects. I would say you have amazing stories storytelling skills, your vocal phrasing is on spot. In last, I will only say you always pass through failures to your destination, to success, and positivity actually drives your success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, contestant number 4, Naveed Aslam. We are now observing a minute silence, and I request all the judges to mark their ballot. In the meantime, the tech host is requested to allow the next contestant.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Could we have our next contestant?
I'm here.
Great. Toastmaster Hiba, I request you to pin the timer's screen. Have you pinned the timer screen?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so are you ready? You're muted.
Sorry. Before I begin, am I clearly visible? And my voice?
You are clearly visible and audible. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Contestant number 5, Hiba Raees Khan. Hiba Raees Khan, contestant number 5.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, contest chair, and chief judge. The topic that you spoke about was quite practical, and one could relate to it in one way or another. What I liked about the topic was that you had both the positive and negative aspects which one could connect to in our daily lives. Now, speaking about the positives, you had good gestures to express yourself during the speech. And I thought during the speech, you had good pauses at the right moment. You had good hand and body gestures when it was needed. Vocal variety was incorporated at the right moment during the speech. What I also liked was the fact that you covered the area of speaking quite well and moved constantly. Eye contact was also there in your speech, and I constantly saw you looking at the camera without your eye contact deviating from one point anywhere. And I also thought that you had a good practical story, which you narrated through good examples. And also you had a good appearance during the speech, which brought a certain level of positivity in your speech. Also, the flow of speech was very good and you moved from one point to another without much hesitation. You had good examples to narrate to, and you had a good conclusion. However, like every speeches, there are certain areas of improvement which I thought you could focus upon. The first was I detected a slight bit of stuttering, which you could have covered upon, and you lacked a bit of facial gestures, which I thought you could have Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 5, Hiba Raees Khan. We now observe a minute of silence. In the meantime, all the judges are requested to mark their ballots. And I request the deck host to allow the next contestant to the main meeting room.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Do we have our next contestant? Our club growth director has just joined. DTM Malik Umar, are you with us?
Yes, with you. I'm having some internet connectivity issues because it's breaking. But I hope you can listen to me. It's, as always, it's a pleasure to be with you people. But I was stuck in office in the meeting and I just left office. I'm on my way home. And the first thing that I did when I got in my car, I joined the contest and always lovely to see one. Looking forward to listening to the rest of the contestants and thoroughly enjoying on my way home.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you
to
for having me.
And drive safely. Okay, we have. Okay, if the Toastmaster Ali Hasnain, are you with us? If not, could we have our Division A Director DTM Atif Irwan Saad? Are you with us?
Actually, DTM Atif Irfan is also traveling and he's intermittently joining the meeting. So as of right now, this moment, perhaps he's not in the meeting, but he'll drop back in as soon as he can.
He's here.
Who's here?
Ali Hasnain.
Okay. Toastmaster Ali Hasnain, are you with us? Toastmaster Ali.
Okay. Am I loud and audible now?
Yes, you are loud and audible. I request you to pin the timer screen, please.
1 second. Done.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
You are loud and clear, loud and visible. Contestant number 6, Ali Hasnain. Ali Hasnain, contestant number 6.
Thank you, contest chair. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and the distinguished Toastmasters, a very good evening. The power of positivity. I would say it had a wonderful start. Talking about how I felt about the speech, I could completely relate to the speech topic and the story she told. Even I can recall when I was in my O levels, most of my teachers sent my grade C grade in mocks, and then they were confident he will not be able to make it. Even one of my teachers had the courage to say to me, Hasnain, you know what? I'm giving you C and I will stand by it. That was the moment I absorbed the negativity. But surprisingly, the inner positivity took over me and I took it as a challenge. That very year, I ended up with 10 A's and aced my O levels. But we all know it's not the same case, in all walks of life. We can all relate. The power of negativity, when we absorb, we cannot get rid of it. And it definitely impacts our result. And that was clearly evident in the speech of Madam Toastmaster. And I could see you excelled at a lot of areas, and the long list goes on. But I would like to highlight a few. First of all, you had the hook in first 10 seconds, the story of Ali and Gulpreet. You had the hook that kept the audience engaged. That was amazing. In the first 10 seconds, you grabbed the audience attention. Then you had amazing, meaningful pauses. Help, help, my friend fell in the well. And then you let it sink in. The pauses were amazing. Then you had an open body language. Just imagine this room is turned into XYZ. Your body language was open, confident, and bold. That was wonderful. It was really tough to find any area of improvement in your speech, but I managed to figure out a few. Drama. You could have added more drama to it. For example, what should people think of me if I'm the black sheep of the family? What would my parents think of it? What would my relatives think of it? Adding more drama, that would have made it more interesting. Then voice modulation. You were quoting your teacher's quote. Saleha, I will not quit teaching if you do not get an A. You could have raised your voice and lowered it whenever required. Giving you a quick summary, you excelled at giving a hook in the start. You had amazing pauses. You had an open body language. Just work on drama and voice modulation. You will excel at your project. The passion for your project was amazing. It reminds me of my father's quote, be careful when you use your words, for you either make a life or break a life. Looking forward to more magnificent projects from your side, Madam Toastmaster. Over to contest chair.
Thank you very much, contestant number 6, Ali Hasnain. We now observe a minute of silence. In the meantime, judges are requested to mark their ballots. And I request tech hosts to please send the next contestant in.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. I request you to pin the timer screen.
Okay, done.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Toastmaster Adi Ashar Anjum, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Contestant number 7, Ali Ashar Anjum. Ali Ashar Anjum, contestant number 7.
Toastmaster Sohail, I must say you was speaking on the power of positivity and you did a great job. Your speech was eloquent and mesmerizing. I love the way you start your story, the speech with your story, and your story captivate all of us. My name is also Ali. So I can relate that Ali was a shy guy, and at that moment, your pitch and delivery was so impactful that I was relating myself with that guy. Then you build that story and then jump uh, towards the topic, and then uh, you discuss your own personal stories that you failed and then rise again. I must say that your uh, your paralinguistics were amazing. Your pauses, your pertinent to emphasize on the words, how you say it, rushed and help. Those phrases, words are give impact and effectiveness to your speech. Uh, I I was amazed uh, due to your synchronization of body language, your delivery, and your contact. Every pre 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 speech to have a bit of uh, improvement areas, and being the evaluator, it was quite uh, uh, a difficult job for all of the contestants, but you can improve your skill, uh, speech. First thing I noticed today, some of your word was not to, to be listened due to the pace of your voice. On the instant, your pace was a bit faster. Moreover, you can improve on your coherence. Overall, you know the art of uh, story retelling. You was eloquent and your speech was mesmerizing. Over to you, contestant.
Thank you very much, contestant number 7, Ali Ashar Anjum. We now observe a minute of silence. In the meantime, judges are requested to mark their ballots. And I request the tech host to bring the next contestant in.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Could we have our next contestant? Contestant number 8. Come out, wherever you are. Am I? Yes.
Toastmaster Talab Asharat is not going to be participating. He had a very bad internet connection, so he withdrew. Sorry.
No
So
worry.
Toastmaster Amir Bilal, he's left the room, but I don't see him. Is he there in the main meeting room?
Amir Bilal. Amir Bilal is in the meeting. Yes, he's in.
All right.
Thank you very much.
He's just entering the room.
Toastmaster
Amir Bilal.
Amir Bilal, are you with us? Toastmaster Amir.
Yes,
Okay. Are you ready?
yes.
I request you to pin the timer screen.
Done.
Okay, you are completely audible and visible. Okay. Contestant number 8, Amir Bilal. Amir Bilal, contestant number 8.
I would like to congratulate myself for being able to experience this inspiring speech with the positive content. Contest chair, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. And this particular speech by Speaker Saleha was the exact and true translation of this quotation. I felt overwhelmed, engaged, and it's like the speaker has mastered the art of crafting and creating an identical and ideal speech. It is the true example of that. The body language, expressions, content were perfectly aligned with the execution, and it was a great example for the people who are learning the art of delivering speeches. So congratulations, Speaker Solia, for delivering a powerful message with all these skills. So three things that are there to aim when somebody is preparing for delivering a speech. One, to get to your message. Two, to get your message into yourself. And three, to get your message into the heart of your audience. How we can do this? To get to your message, one needs to understand and be aware about the audience. What is that they need to hear? What is that they are looking for? You've got that? Then get that message into yourself. How one can do that? By practicing and by evolving yourself with the words that you have prepared to deliver, and then to get to the heart of your audience. So it is just about the connectivity and relation in between you and your audience. Let me tell you, this is the most beautiful connection of any speaker or the audience. You ever experienced anybody the goosebumps listening to any speaker you love the most? So this relation takes you to that stage, and once you make somebody feel that, he's never going to forget, and he's never going to forget how you made him feel. Your speech was perfect. It had almost everything. To summarize this, you injected positivity into your audience, and everybody feel really happy about that. And the message that you gave at the end was, even if you have the one right person, he can save your life and can give you a meaningful and wonderful career. Back to the contest here.
Thank you very much, contestant number 8, Amir Bilal. We now observe a minute of silence. All the judges are requested to mark their ballot. In the meantime, I request the tech host to send the next contestant in the meeting. Toastmaster Amir, you are not punished, so you can have a seat. Grab a
Yes,
chair and
I'm going back. Thank you.
Am I audible?
yes, you are. Just wait for a few minutes, few seconds.
Okay.
Take deep.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Toastmaster Saad, Amin, are you ready?
Yes.
Did you pin the timer screen?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Contestant number 9, Saad Amin. Saad Amin, contestant number 9.
Never be afraid of shadows because there is always a light shining nearby. Dear contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, the speech that you heard today is a life story of each and every one of us. The speech started brilliantly with a story of two friends. And very cleverly, the speaker left the climax of the story till the end. And that sort of kept all of us engaged as to what is going to happen at the end of the story. Now, the speech flew very well from that opening story to the middle, where the speaker shared her personal story. Now, sharing a personal story that gives a touch to each and every one of us that we can also relate with. Very brilliantly, the speaker shared her personal story, how she failed in her exams, how the teachers and other people in her life used to bring her down. And that connects you to a person. And then, very brilliantly, at the end, the climax of the story brought everything together. But as it said, if people reach perfection, they vanish. So since we all are here, so let me share some areas of improvement. Now, in the middle of the speech, you sort of gave a personal story of how the teacher brought you down, how you failed on your exams. Now, that requires some personal touch, some more emotions. So, like, I failed. My teacher told me I could not get an A grade. You sort of bring out your emotions with a personal story. Secondly, I would say, and I would suggest, that you bring a strong conclusion. Now, the strong conclusion could be a very punchy message. For example, you could say, never let people, negative people, bring you down in life. Always stand up, go for your dreams. And you end at a very strong positive message. Now, if I just summarize, it was an excellent story, a very strong message. Started off well with a very good opening example, left the conclusion to the end, kept all of us engaged. In the middle, you shared your personal story, gave a personal touch. And in terms of improvement areas, I would just say bring more passion into your story, bring more energy. That would lift up the speech and that would make your speech from good to great to near perfection because I would not want you to vanish. Over to you, contestant.
Thank you very much, contestant number 9, Saad Amin. We now observe a minute of silence. In the meantime, I request the tech host let the next contestant in.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Contestant number 10, are you with us? Contestant number 10.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Contestant number 10, Taha Hassan. Taha Hassan, contestant number 10.
Thank you, fellow judges. Ali helped Gulpi manage to get out of the well. This sentence was used by by a speaker, Toastmaster Sohail. It was really an absolutely amazing sentence. What I got from it, that it doesn't matter how you show your intentions towards helping. The thing that matter is either you help or not. Thank you. The confidence level she showed was really amazing. I like the way she used her hand gesture. I like the way her attitude was really good, and the speech that she prepared was really marvelous. It's really top notch. I was trying to find out some weaknesses that she had, but it was really I was absolutely glad to say that I could not find anything that was that showed her weakness towards her speech. Her eye contact and action was really good. She was always on the camera. She removed her eyes from the camera, but just when she was showing an emotion, or I would say that a feeling, or she was emphasizing on something on her speech that she was speaking about. I really like that all the movements she used performed extremely meaningful. Her movements were all meaningful, and I like the way when she jumped up and looked down to the well, and she was seeing that some person is down and we need to help her. That was really emotional for me. That was really a good expression. That the thing that she wanted us to have was really on that action. I really got everything. The presentation she made was really good. Her dress, she was extremely beautiful. Everything did was extremely, I would say it's extremely 110% good. One thing she did was have pauses in her speech, but I think that was because she wanted us, the audience, or whoever who was listening, to to see her expressions on the face, that what emotions she was showing while she paused in some area of her speech. All in all, it was a beautifully presented speech. Really, I liked her. It's I liked her confidence and the way she speaks and the way she expressed the topic that she chose. It was really good. And the last thing I want to say that stop thinking what others have to say to you, what other things you can't do, and start showing them and making them in this belief that we can do what we want to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 10, Taha Hassan. We now observe a minute of silence. In the meantime, I request all the judges to mark their ballots and tag host to send the last contestant.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Toastmaster, Toastmaster Urusa. I request the contestants to please mute their mics. Toastmaster Urusa, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
And contestant number 11, last contestant, Toastmaster Hina Ali, are you with us?
She's left the main meeting. She's left the breakout room. I've closed the breakout room, so there is no one in the breakout room.
Last contestant, come out, wherever you are.
Maybe she's disconnected.
She was facing some technical issues and she requested to give her 1 minute. So if she faces any technical issues.
So the timer, I requested you to please start her 1 minute. If she's able to join, we'll accept her. If not, we will excuse her.
Sure.
In the meantime, we can, since our immediate past district director has just joined, DTM Samir, are you with us? Okay, we have DTM Tan from Singapore. DTM Tan, are you with us?
Oh, hello.
DTM Tan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm well. How are you too?
Good to see you. So,
Good to see
are you enjoying the contest?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
So what
I
do you say?
really enjoy the contest.
What do you say about the contest?
Oh, I enjoyed the variety of evaluation on the test speaker, which was also a very competent speaker. And I could see the variety of ideas, the variety of evaluation styles and techniques. And more importantly, I could observe the hunger and the desire for each contestant in order to win and better themselves. And I really admire that. It reminded me of the past when I used to be contesting as well. I could sense the energy, the anticipation, as well as the hunger to want to win. And I really like that very much. So I think the contestants did very well. It is very difficult to choose a winner. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not a judge, okay? I'm here to enjoy myself and make friends.
Yes, I know that. Okay, if you want to compete in our contest, then you have to become our member, our club member. And for that, DTM Taha, could you convince DTM 10 to become our member?
It's okay. I used to be a contestant, so I'm out of the contest circuit already.
Yes, of course. Of course I can. I think I can.
You have 30 seconds to convince him.
Okay. So you'll get to experience a whole new culture, and a culture that's at the intersection of Middle East and the Indian subcontinent. There's no other country like it. And what's more, you'll hone your skills towards online meetings and presentations. Also, we are the only club that will guarantee you a speaking slot whenever you want it. There you are.
So what do you say? Are you joining us as a member?
Well, I have too many clubs already. Yes, I can join you in your meetings and contribute. Yeah, from time to time. Yes.
You know, we just hooked you. You were just becoming a member, then just negativity came from somewhere else, and you just changed your mind. But do attend our meetings. We would love to have you.
Yes, I think it will be fun to see all of you again.
So stick around. The result has not announced yet, and still we have our last contestant. So Toastmaster Hina, are you with us?
Yes, can you see me and hear me? Am I audible and
Yes, you
visible?
are. Yes, you are completely audible and visible. Contestant number 11, Hina Ali. Hina Ali, contestant number 11.
Help, help! My friend has fallen in the well. Oh my God, what an awesome story! And leaving us, the audience, on a cliffhanger. Chief Judge, fellow judges, fellow contestants, and Toastmaster Saleha. I was enthralled by your master storytelling abilities. You had us hooked from the first word that you spoke from your mouth. A beautiful story about two young boys whose characters we understood from the way you described them and the way you portrayed them with ease in your speech, using your facial expressions and your hand gestures. With one saying, "Come on, let's go to that other side," and the other saying, "No, let's not get out of the restricted area." Beautiful. You had amazing stories that kept us hooked from the word go. One, possibly an imagined story, and second, a personal anecdote about yourself and how you were doing in school. What I loved about your speech was the fact that your voice, your actions, and your words were all in sync. You used your personal stories and anecdotes to bring us to this beautiful topic of the power of positivity. The other thing that I loved about your speech, the topic. And finally, the thing that really left a lasting impact on me was the pauses that you used. At the end of each of these stories, or rather at the point that you left us waiting with bated breath and thinking, what next? And also when you left us wondering how you must have felt when, after trying, you still failed in your exam. Now, though you are a beautiful storyteller and you have a great message to share, every person needs a little bit more to take that speech to that winning next level. And for that, I'd like to share two key gems which I believe help you take it to that side. The first one, in terms of your delivery, would be beautiful if you would have your two boys facing each other as they spoke. In terms of delivery again, the teacher, when she spoke to you, it would be nice if you used maybe glass props where she looked at you, pulled her glasses down and said something like, "You get an A, I'll quit," if that ever happens. Right? The second one is your content. You had points about positivity peppered in your speech. It would be lovely if you could just bring each point at the end of the story. The first story ended, the second story ended first. So the message was for people to use kind words. Bring that more specifically out. The second one was that find strength in yourself and don't let other people's negativity get to you. And that happened with the end of the second story, where you, of course, brought us back out of the cliffhanger. Okay? So just keep that positive voice, beautiful storytelling, just work a little bit on your delivery and also on being more specific with your content and conclusion, and you'll have a winning speech. Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 11, Toastmaster Hina Ali. This was our last contestant, and I request the timer, the judges, to first we have a minute of silence for judges to mark their ballot.
The 1 minute time is over.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Firdaus. Now I request the timer and all the judges to compile their results and share with Chief Judge DTM Taha. For that, you have 3 to 5 minutes.
Actually, they will share their results with the ballot counters, and the ballot counters will share their results with me.
Okay. So in the meantime, we have our immediate district director, the heart and soul, the one and only DTM Samir Hamid Todi. If we won't ask him, since he was the right hand of DTM Salim, and if we won't ask him his beautiful memories with DTM Salim, that it would be an unjust, it not justify. So could we have DTM Samir on virtual stage? And I request you to please share your beautiful memories about DTM Salim. I must say today's contest was for judges like a nail biting. And they were biting their nails and they were thinking, since all the contestants were extremely good, the speaker and the contestant, they were their extremely high level of confidence. So hats off and congratulations to everyone. And we will request the test speaker to share her views about those of evaluations she just received.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana, for first of all this platform. And I got to be a test speaker in Karachi Toastmasters, one of the first clubs to have started. And being here, first of all, virtually, it wouldn't have ever happened if it weren't virtual. So again, Toastmasters proving itself that it can do anything in any circumstances given to them. Secondly, this contest itself, it was extremely fun to be a part of. Of course, for me, because it was a sort of stressful for the contestants, and it was lovely hearing all the contestants evaluate each and every one after the other. It was a higher and higher stake. There are just so many qualified candidates and speakers that I learned from, and all of the recommendations given to me by them have been written down. So it was again an honor, and thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much. It was great.
I told you you will receive some very interesting and very important feedbacks. So thank you very much for accepting as a test speaker. Thank you very much.
But please let us know from which club Toastmaster Saleha is from. And from which city, we don't even know that.
Isn't that enough?
I'm from ICAP Toastmasters Club, Islamabad.
From Islamabad, okay, great.
Yes, and hope to see you all joining our club online as well pretty soon.
Do send us an invitation to join the club for the meeting.
Right now we thank you so much. Right now we've started offline. We've started in-person meetings, but like how things are progressing, it'll probably be online soon. So we will be sending you the link.
Great.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters Saleha, once again for becoming a test speaker. Now we have DTM Salim, the person who is so close to DTM Salim, and I request him to share his beautiful memories. DTM Samir, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rana. Well, first of all, my apologies for not being here for the full meeting, but I had an issue and I was stuck outside due to some circumstances out of my control. But as far as Dr. Salim goes, Dr. Salim, in fact, he's the first one who brought me into Toastmasters. We were both part of a business forum, and in 2005, he said, you know, why don't you come over and to this place, Toastmasters? And I said, well, yeah, sure, I'll come. And then the next time I met him, he asked me again. And then the third time he asked me again. Finally, I said, okay, I must go. And I joined, I think, in August. And then I never went back. It was such a wonderful experience. And I think most of all, it was also, I think, his charm. One of the things I really liked about Dr. Salim, DTM Salim, was the fact that he never basically gave up. He always had that tenacity when he wanted to have a guest, when he wanted to have a meeting. He would just go on, and he had a very strong willpower. He was also a great mentor, and he introduced many things of Toastmasters to me. And I must say, he was quite a fanatical Toastmasters, fanatical in the sense that he used to go to all of the conventions. Like I know of people, Toastmasters, who might be sitting in Washington or New York or wherever, and the convention is happening and they don't go. And he used to travel all the way from Pakistan to be at the conventions. And it was his great pride to carry the Pakistani flag. I think that was his biggest thing, that, okay, I'm carrying the Pakistani flag. He was a great, I would say, lover of Pakistan, a lover of Toastmasters. And God bless him. I'm so happy that his dream of us forming a territorial council and a district is finally becoming true. And it was all his vision. He kept on pushing everybody towards that vision. He passed away too soon, but his vision lives on. Toastmaster Imran, over to you.
Thank you very much, DTM Samir, for such an amazing memories you just shared with us. Okay, so before DTM Maria join us, let's have a quick question and answer session. And I would like to start with those who are competing for the first time. So Toastmaster Taha Hasan, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
So how are you feeling now after giving such an amazing evaluation?
Thank you for your kind words. It wasn't that amazing, but I tried my best. And it was really tough because I was told that to find the weaknesses and strength, but the speech that she delivered, there were none of the weaknesses in my eyes or in my view. But it was really tough, and I didn't know how the other contestant, excuse me, how the other contestant evaluated her. But I evaluated her in a positive tone. You can see that. And thanks to the people who guided me to be a part of it. And I'm really glad that they were there for me. So thank you, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Taha. How come you say that you were not very good? You know, you just put all the judges into a big trouble. Seriously. Okay, moving on to our. Okay, so finally we have DTM Maria. Toastmaster Taha, the stage is yours.
Okay, so DTM Maria, for those who don't know, she's the daughter of our founder, DTM Salim, and we owe our existence and everything we are to that great person. And I'm so glad to report that DTM Maria became a DTM and left Toastmasters for a few years, but she has come back with us now. And she is embarked on a pathway, so that's an example for all of us. Of course, there are some DTMs who we have been chasing to give an icebreaker since months, and they know perfectly well who they are. And most club members also know who they are. So just have a look at DTM Maria and, and just use her as an example. So DTM Maria, is it possible to share some thoughts about your late and esteemed and celebrated father?
All right. First of all, there is not a single memory associated regarding the club. There are innumerable moments. I would say innumerable, wonderful, and exciting moments, because I had seen the journey of Toastmasters since I was a student, and now I am a mother of 3 children. So I can easily see the difference and the contrast over the years. By the way, he's my youngest son. Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
So, all right. So I would say that today is his birthday, and I would request everyone to kindly say a prayer for him. And every year I used to visit my father, includes my husband and my children, and we made a surprise visit and brought a birthday cake, and we used to cut the cake along. So it's almost 3 years back. It was his last birthday, and we celebrated it in a very good manner. So on every 11th of November, I remember that time since he departed, that how life is unpredictable and uncertain. We should never take anyone for granted. Every moment should be enjoyed and should be passed on in such a way that it creates memories, rather than taking everything for granted. The COVID pandemic is a prime example of it. I don't know how many people have lost their loved ones just because of it. So coming to the Toastmaster, it has been an overwhelming feeling to join it back. And I intend to continue to give speeches in the upcoming sessions. And I hope I would be able to regain my formal self, which I was used to be before leaving the Toastmasters. And I so wish if my father had been alive, he would have been overjoyed by looking my son Bilal when he used to deliver speeches at the time before COVID pandemic, when he used to accompany me and attend those meetings. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak and share these moments. Over to the Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM Maria, for your wonderful manners. Okay. We now move to our next contestant, Toastmaster Saad, Amin. So he's competing for the first time. Toastmaster Saad, Amin, what's your feeling now? How was your experience?
So yeah, the experience was very nice. To find flaws in people and what they say, but I think when it comes to an evaluation context, it becomes even more difficult. But having said that, it was a very very good experience. The speeches were very good, and I remember someone sharing a YouTube video of Kashika Rodrigo, and I was asked to evaluate her speech, and and very frankly, I couldn't understand what. I couldn't even find out one flaw, and I thought this would be an impossible thing to do. But somehow, yeah, I think you have to put a lot of effort and thinking into how you can evaluate someone. So let's see what happens.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saad, Amin. Moving on to our next contestant, Toastmaster Ghulam, Qadir. This is your first experience as participating in evaluation speech contest. So please share.
I think you're forgetting this is my second. This is my second time I am competing in this same contest, evaluation contest. And I remember, I think Toastmaster Anam remembered when we were in a breakout room, that when I attended the international speech contest, and in which Toastmaster Javed won. And soon after that, I had my icebreaker, and then we had evaluation contest. So that was the first time, soon after my icebreaker, I was part of the evaluation contest. So I remember jumping here and there, and just saying everything which was on the top of my mind. So that contest went awful, I would call that as. But stepping into the second time, the same contest, I had learned a lot in a span of few months. And Alhamdulillah, thanks to all the Toastmasters who were there in the meeting, really they made me what I am today as a Toastmaster. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. We have Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. Toastmaster Naveed Aslam, could we hear you? Are you with us, Toastmaster Naveed?
No, he isn't.
Okay, then moving on to Ali Ashar Anjum. Toastmaster Ali.
Yes, Toastmaster Rana. Yes.
Please share your experience.
It was a great experience, and honestly speaking, that I am quite uh, afraid of doing evaluations, and that's why I find it one of the most difficult tasks to do to evaluate someone and give them feedback. So I think this is quite a challenging moment for me, and and uh, I can say that now I he he gets some confidence uh, to evaluate more speeches. So I think this is a good experience for me. So
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ashar. Okay, so I request the chief judge about the result status, because the contestants are waiting for the result. They wanted to know.
He's on a call, I think. He
Okay,
can't
so
hear.
let's take comment from Toastmaster Amir Bilal, as he is competing in evaluation speech contest for the first time. Toastmaster Amir, what do you say about today's contest?
Hi, Toastmaster Imran. Thank you. It was great to be part of this contest, especially. I remember I first participated in table topic contest, and it was like a nightmare. I almost killed myself with disappointment when I left that room. But yeah, it's been a great journey in the span of 8-9 months. I learned a lot from people like you, DT and Talha, and everybody. This is just like a family. So with the passage of time, we are improving. Everybody's improving, and I'm so happy to be part of this. And I would like to thank Toastmaster Saleha for being part of our contest and for delivering an amazing speech. So we look forward to hearing more from you as well. And it's a blessing to have a club that can organize a contest, in any regular meeting. So having all those members actively participating in with the rules and with the projects, so I'm really happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amir. Okay, Chief Judge.
Yes.
So what's the status of the result?
Status of what? Was I supposed to give a status? Okay.
So everyone, so the meeting is adjourned, and I thank you for joining us, and we will meet again same day, same time. Until then.
Okay. Yeah, I might have something to report. So without further ado, let's get into the results. But before going into the results, just like a true Toastmaster, let me hog this opportunity and spew forth some of the golden thoughts that have come into my mind, because that's what Toastmasters do. This was the first ever contest that I've witnessed in which almost all of the evaluators told the speaker that we found very little or nothing to improve in your speech. I mean, how good you have to be in order to make evaluation contestants say that. Seriously, because you're effectively killing your chances by saying that, but you're forced to say that. So again, that's a testament to Toastmaster Sohail's brilliant speech. Secondly, the quality of the evaluations. It was a symphony of eloquence and insight and elegance, all of them. And even some of the new speakers, let me tell you, there are some evaluators who have just delivered one icebreaker, and they stunned me personally with how good they were. So amazing, amazing evaluation. One more tribute that I have to give. She's not here in this meeting, but her presence could be felt throughout the meeting. And who was that? Toastmaster Mariam Arif, who made an excellent coaching video for the contestants. And by virtue of that, what I'm seeing here is it's better than anything I've witnessed in this district in terms of evaluation previously. And if this is the club contest level, just imagine what will be the area, division, and district contest level. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Mariam. We hope to draw on your expertise much more. Without further ado, the third position for evaluation speech contest goes to Toastmaster. Now, this particular Toastmaster is always quite sad at the end of contest when he does not win any place. So this time he has. So Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, you are at the podium, number 3. Congratulations. The second place winner for evaluation speech contest necessitates a disclosure. And that disclosure is that I by no means influence the judges, and I'm not part of the judging panel at all. You know what a chief judge does. And haven't you guessed it already? It's Toastmaster Anam Qadri. And the first contestant, the first place winner, we had to actually travel to a mysterious spot in the jungle and meet an old mysterious man there. And he told us a wazifa, and myself, contest chair, and some other EXCOM members recited that wazifa for 10 days. And then we got that participant to say yes to participating in this contest. And you know who you are. First place winner, Toastmaster Hina Ali.
Congratulations, all the winners. Thank you very much, DTM Taha, for the announcements of the results. Okay, before that, I would like to mention here that there were 2 time lead. Just a minute. Hold it. I think we have to revise the result. Please hold. Toastmaster Talha.
It has been a blunder on my part. I did not see the timing sheet, and there were 2 disqualifications. So, okay. Now,
take your time and finalize the result, please.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so sorry. So, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti, you have to come up with one more position. Are you there?
Javed Bhatti?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yes. He knows what I'm saying.
Okay. So take your time. And
DTM Talha, do you want me to create a breakout room?
Sorry?
Do you want me to create a breakout room? Do you want to go into a breakout room? Or?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Yeah.
This also happened in the Oscars awards as well at one point in time. I remember that.
So, we are
I know you guys very
It's
well.
just like a Hollywood standard. I can say that.
Absolutely. The KTC.
Okay, so the chief judge and Toastmaster Javed. Anyone else?
You want me to put in?
No. How many people do I put in that the breakout room?
The chief judge and and Javed Bhatti.
The ballot count, yeah.
All right.
So start praying and let's see. The picture has not yet ended.
Yes.
There's a twist. There's a twist.
And remember what happened to the two people who were at the Oscars. There were two partners from PwC. And immediately afterward, they were no longer partners.
Okay. So, beside with 2-time disqualification, there were 2 disqualification were there. And I would like to mention their names, Toastmaster Naveed and Toastmaster Taha Basharat. They diligently get themselves out from the contest as they were not able to connect it. So I would like to congratulate them. So they really wanted to participate. Due to some connectivity and due to some issues, they were there, but they thought if they rejoin the meeting, then it would be an unfair to other contestants. So I would like to appreciate them for their decisions. Okay. So could we have Toastmaster Naveed Aslam with us?
Yes.
Naveed Aslam, thank you very much for rejoining us. So since you are the first timer, you participated in evaluation speech contest for the first time. I would like to have your comments about the contest, your experience.
Honestly, when you called me and asked me about the contest, I was so overwhelmed at that moment with a lot of stuff that I hardly could focus that what you are talking about. I haven't seen my WhatsApp messages that time, but the way you have explained and the way you have convinced, I had no choice but to say yes. And when I say yes, I kept on thinking that what I will do. Slightly stressed, had no idea, just had 2 speeches. One is that icebreaker, and the next one was on the second the second one that I did. No idea about what evaluation is. I've seen that video that you've sent me. Thank you so very much. And then I've seen one video on YouTube, but I must say that it actually gives me an opportunity to basically quickly try to come up to the curve or do something whatever in order for me to at least participate in the contest, so that it actually makes me little nervous, but I think it's worth it. I've tried. I did all my best, and kind of an icebreaker for me, so that next time whenever there is a contest, I would say yes. And within that short period of time, I hope that I will learn a lot.
Thank you very much to Toastmaster Naveed Aslam for such a nice and wonderful appreciation. I must say you did an extremely well. Your evaluation was spot on. And what I can see that you have such a wonderful voice. I would request you to please continue your journey and try to complete your level 2 so that you can compete in international speech contest. And I can assure you that you will do wonders. You will surprise everyone. So, okay, here I would like to take comments from our timer. She is from Dow IBHM, Toastmaster Firdaus. So, how did you find today's contest? Please share your experience.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. I rarely can speak because of the infection I got. So that was a very, very innovative and very effective, I would say. I have noted a lot of points for evaluation. I haven't evaluated more than 2 speakers yet, but in my club's next meeting, I'll be evaluating 1 speaker from all those noted points. Thank you so much for inviting me. Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Master Firdaus. And now our judge is back with the results.
Yeah. So first, let me ask, is there anyone from the insurance industry here? I need an insurance policy instantly. And it's an insurance against fire. It's an insurance against act of God. It's an insurance against personal attack, terrorist attack, everything. So yeah, I'll be in touch. So actually what happened was that there were 2 disqualifications, and there were, so we had to go back to the drawing board. And unfortunately, one of the podium finishers that I originally announced was disqualified, and I did not take into account the timing sheet, although it was provided to me right alongside the results. So there's no delay in that. It was delay in my reading. So we'll go through the results once again. The best part is that Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir remains at 3rd place. We have a new 2nd place winner, and that is personally, again, a very, very proud moment for me, because it is Toastmaster Ali Babar Hasnain. Am I taking your name right?
Wrong.
Ali Hasnain Babar.
Ali
Babar Ali Hasnain.
Babar Ali Hasnain.
Okay. And first place winner goes to Toastmaster Anam Qadir. So again, I apologize to everyone involved. I know inadvertently I played with the emotions of the contestants. It was not my intention. But in the end, it turned out good as well, because the people who were disqualified in terms of timing know now where they stood in the eyes of the judges. So there's something positive in everything. So my sincere apologies, Toastmaster Hina Ali. My personal apologies.
Not at all. Yeah. I was fairly certain that I have been disqualified. So that's why I was like really surprised when you called my name. I already felt like I had gone over time. So, but it feels very heartening to know whatever feedback I gave made, as you said, made great sense to the judges. Thank you. That's heartening.
Thank
you so much, Toastmaster. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Toastmaster Anam.
Okay, so now we are going to have few comments from the podium finisher. First, Ghulam Qadir. Ghulam Qadir, so how are you feeling as a podium finisher?
Wonderful, because this is the 3rd or 4th contest. Third contest, which I participated, and finally, at least got the 3rd position. So pretty happy. That's about it.
Thank you very much. Now the backpack, Toastmaster Ali Hasnain Babar, the podium finisher. So how are you feeling?
Ali Hasnain Babar. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. And I would like to pay special thanks to Toastmaster DTM Talha for he has been always been guiding me through. And one person who actually encouraged me to practice against my norms beforehand, that was Toastmaster Latif. Unfortunately, he's not here with us due to accident, but he was the one who motivated me for the practice, gave me tips passed on to him by DTM Talha. So credit goes to both of them. Thank you so much for revising the results. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Now, the champion of 2021 Karachi Toastmasters Evaluation Speech Contest, none other than Toastmaster Anam Qadri. Could we have your comments about today's contest?
Thank you so much, Team Imran Rana. I don't have words right now because I'm shivering. I wasn't expecting this because I was here since the beginning, since I was the second contestant. And with every speech, I was gritting my teeth that, oh my God, everyone is so great that I automatically, I was moving backwards. In fact, I was planning to quit the meeting because I didn't want to lose. Everybody was so nice, was so inspiring. I learned a lot from every one of them. I think that every one of us is a winner, especially from the contestant, TM Saleha. It was very hard to focus on her speech, and constantly I was looking for inspirations in her speech. And it was really difficult to evaluate her because every time I found something in her speech that I said, okay, next time I'm going to use that in my speech as well. Same goes for the evaluations. Every time I found something new. And thank you so much, the fellow contestants, because you planned my next win for the next year by giving me more tips today. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anam Qadri. After competing in so many contests, you were first runner-up and now you are the winner. Congratulations. Congratulations, all the contestants. Congratulations, everyone. Finally, the successful contest has come to an end. How come I say that this contest is a successful? Because I received positive vibes from the test speakers and from all the contestants. So congratulations, everyone. And this could only be possible with the brilliant team efforts. My sincere gratitude to all the contestants, role holders, like President Urusa as tech host, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti and Toastmaster Muhammad Talha as telecounters, Toastmaster Firdaus as a timer, and all the contestants for their splendid and spot-on evaluations. I would like to congratulate team of competent judges who worked diligently. Chief Judge TTM Talha for all his supports and guidance. Last but not least, the test speakers Toastmaster Saleha, and we had the backup test speaker Toastmaster Ranish. Without them, this contest wouldn't be possible. Before handing over the charge to the president, I would like to make an end with a beautiful quote by Shakespeare. I can no other answer make but thanks and ever thanks. With that, I would like to hand over the charge back to our president, Toastmaster Urusa. And I'm signing off.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. That was a really wonderful contest. And congratulations to every one of you, not just the winners, but everyone who gave a wonderful evaluation. And for the winners, we are looking for you in the area contest, which will be held soon. So with that, let's not take much of your time because we did spend a lot of time here. And sure.
And I apologize for this awful interruption, but BPPR duty. So please everyone, can you please open your camera so we can have a picture, each and every one of you, please.
We did it.
Finally. Toastmaster Firdaus, can you please open your camera easily?
You have to wait for a minute for it,
Yeah,
if you can,
yeah,
for a few seconds, I guess.
yeah, absolutely.
Where is the chief judge hiding?
We have
Make sure you say cheese.
we have
Do I have
all
to
the time in
explain?
the world. Toastmaster Naveed, are you around? Can you open the camera? I think not. Toastmaster Shamam. Okay, let's just go for. So everyone, 3, 2, 1, cheese. Perfect. Thank you very
Are
much,
we done?
everyone.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
All right. So thank you all the guests and the Toastmasters, guests and club members for attending. And we will meet next week, same place, same time. Till then, bye-bye.